Hello everyone and welcome to Daily Prelims Practice, an initiative of Rouse IAS where we take up important MCQs based on the articles which are published in the Hindu newspaper and the Indian Express. Articles taken for today's discussion are displayed on your screen, so let us begin the discussion. This article of the Hindu newspaper talks about the upcoming cyclones which are appearing to be there more frequently in the Arabian Sea. As the cyclone Biparjoy has struck the coastal area of Gujarat and has destroyed a number of cities and the coastal infrastructure, the point which has been in the news is that why cyclones and their intensity are increasing in the Arabian Sea. From that perspective, the article says that the number of Arabian Sea cyclones have been increasing, which is actually creating a forecast problem for the scientists just because they could not get reliable, authentic past data. In the Bay of Bengal, they had number of cyclones previously, so they have elongated, or you can say a 10 to 12 decades of data available with them. So what is the basic reason that in the Arabian Sea, the number of cyclones are rising? In 2015, one of the question in geography was with respect to the cyclones and their arrival to a particular geographical location. Today we have framed a question based on the current pattern of the UPSC, where it says that consider the following statement. The first statement is frequency of tropical cyclone is increasing in Arabian Sea. Now you have to justify whether this statement is correct or not. The second statement says that due to global warming, temperature of Arabian Sea is rising. Now, based on the particular understanding of the article, both the statements are correct. Hence, your answer could be A or B. But the second statement is the correct explanation. Yes, it is the global warming that is leading to the rising number of tropical cyclones in the Arabian Sea. Because as the temperature is warming up in the Arabian Sea, it will help in creating more moisture and the right or the ideal temperature for the creation of low pressure. So the answer with this discussion is going to be option A. The answer to the UPSC's question was intertropical convergence zone. This article of the Hindu newspaper talks about the Prime Minister's call to promote more use of millets, or in Hindi what the government call it as Shri Ann. So on millets we have framed a question. In 2017 UPSC had asked a question with respect to one of the options where millets were given. The question was on National Nutrition Mission. Today we have framed a question based on the benefits, because the article was mostly towards the benefit of millets. The first one is consider the following statement: protecting cardiovascular health, preventing the onset of diabetes, maintaining a healthy weight, and managing inflammation in the gut. Which of the above are benefit of millet consumption? The answer to this question is going to be all four of them. See, protecting cardiovascular health, it is good for your heart. Preventing the onset of diabetes, as millets are less in terms of the carbohydrates and can absorb sugar in a better manner, it can control diabetes. The third is it can help in maintaining weight because it does not have high calories. And the last one, it is good for the gut because it is good for the digestion as well. So the answer to this question is option D, that is all four of them are the benefits. The answer to the UPSC's question was option A, that is 1 and 2 are correct. Other two are not the objective of National Nutrition Mission. This article of the Hindu newspaper talks about the call made by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi to celebrate the Yoga Day at the UN headquarters. India is hosting the G20 this year. So India has become a more international figure or an international nation to be hosting majority of the events. So that is one of the reasons why Prime Minister has said to utilize the 21st of June, that is the International Yoga Day, to be celebrated at the UN headquarters. Now the question arises that what is this day and why it is celebrated? In 2021, a question was asked with respect to the International Mother Language Day by UNICEF. Based on the same pattern, we have created a question for today. Consider the following statements. First, the International Yoga Day was incepted or initiated by the United Nations in the year 2016, following the proposal put up by India. It was India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi who introduced a proposal to designate 21st June as the International Yoga Day during his speech which he made in 2014. This proposal got extensive support from the international community And United Nations General Assembly in the year 2014 declared this to be the International Day, and first International Yoga Day was celebrated in 2015. So from that perspective, the first statement is absolutely wrong. The second statement says 21st June is selected as the International Day of Yoga because it coincides with the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. See, the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere is celebrated in the month of January, whereas the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere is celebrated in June. So from that perspective, this statement is wrong. As we are celebrating this on 21st of June, it is the longest day in the northern hemisphere. Hence, it is a summer solstice in the northern hemisphere and not the southern. Based on the discussion, the answer to this question is option D, that is neither of the two statements are correct. The answer to the UPSC's question is option B, that is only option B is correct. This article of the Indian Express talks about the story of remittances. Remittances is the unilateral transfer that most of the Indians receive from their family members or other people living around the world. According to the World Bank's brief report, India's remittances inflow has grown just by 0.2% in 2023. Which is a dramatic slowdown because previously it was increasing at 24%, reaching over $111 billion. Now, based on this trend, we have framed a question today. In 2019, a question was asked with respect to the reducing risk of the currency. And in one of these options, remittances was mentioned. So based on that, we have created this question. With respect to the remittances, consider the following statement. Among Indian states, Kerala remained the top destination for receiving the remittances. This statement is absolutely incorrect. The state is actually the state of Maharashtra in 2021. Kerala was top receiving state in 2016. So this statement is incorrect. The second option says that UAE or United Arab Emirates is the top source country for remittances. This statement is also incorrect. The top remittances country as far as generation is concerned is United States and not UAE. The third option says that Reserve Bank of India is responsible for regulating, or it is a regulatory body to regulate the flow of remittances in India. This option is going to be the correct one. And based on this discussion, the correct answer for this question is going to be option A, that is only one. And only one here is option 3. The answer to the UPSC's question is option B, that is 1 and 3 are correct. This article of the Indian Express talks about the telescope designed by a Pune-based IUCAA for the Aditya L1 mission. Now, Aditya L1 mission is going to be an observatory satellite from India that is going to observe the solar surface. Now, for that we required a particular telescope. And this telescope is known as Solar Ultraviolet Imaging Telescope or SUIT. Now, based on this article, we have created a question. In 2015, astronomy related question was asked in which UPSC asked about AstroSat. Today, the question is, consider the following statement with reference to the Solar Ultraviolet Imaging Telescope. Now, before jumping to the question, you should understand that solar ultraviolet is that spectrum of light which is invisible to the human eyes. So we cannot see ultraviolet rays which are coming from the solar surface. But we require a kind of telescope for that particular matter. Now this telescope is part of Aditya L1. So this is going to be the observing telescope towards the sun. The first option says that SUIT or this particular telescope is one of the main payload on the Gaganyaan human space flight program. Now from the article itself, it is a wrong statement. It is not Gaganyaan, it is going to be the Aditya L1. The second says that SUIT aim to study the solar atmosphere by observing various solar layers and understanding the transport of mass and energy within them. Now, as it is a telescope, it is definitely going to observe that how the solar surface is functioning and how the mass and energy within them is being released. Hence, the answer to this question is going to be option B, that is only 2 is correct. The answer to the UPSC's question was option D, that neither of the above 2 are correct. That's all for today's Daily Prelims Practice. Thank you very much for participating. Stay tuned for more such updates.